decision is final.
But look, you aren't giving me a chance to speak. You always do this.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
I know you think it's for the best, but I don't want to move. I'm tired of changing our home every time someone dies. People die, Mom. It will keep happening. And it's not just that, Mommy. I keep hearing about new tech. Maybe soon we'll have more cures. My friend who was in a trial period for a new implanted air purifier has been doing great, you know?
It was a really intelligent and inventive piece based around sort of a futuristic climate changed ruined Earth, which I thought had a lot of real world implications, especially for right now. I thought that the idea between mother and daughter having sort of an interaction of how they should navigate life and how they can deal with very dark ideas of people dying around them, their homes always disappearing, really reflected sort of a desperation, and I thought created a high stakes dynamic that really matched the really interesting and artistic animation style that created a very engrossing experience that was easy to get into and was easy to marvel at, even if the themes were quite dark. I thought that the piece really did a great dynamic with the voice actors. It really felt realistic, and it really created emotional depth that you might not expect from this type of piece. And I thought that ultimately the themes and the ideas really had an impact that reflected sort of the potential of where the world is going right now, and sort of how individual people have to fight and find a way to survive in a dynamic in which what used to be a safe and healthy place might not be that way anymore. So it was a really well done piece.
I really love the animation style. It definitely felt like a paper version of claymation almost. The way that the colors and the shapes were manipulated in order to tell a story was really, really beautiful, particularly the nuance and the facial expressions for the characters. Everybody, the mother and the daughter had really specific ways of being and speaking and behavior, and all of those things really came through. So you could tell there's a lot of intricate work done in that animation. I also love the color story. There's really beautiful work done with the themes of like survival versus living, and like the past versus the present. And I think that the way that they portray technology and pollution and the ocean, all those things came across really beautifully and were really effective and told a story all on their own. I also think the actors were really successful. I believed every word, and I would love to see a further blown out version of this.
I really liked the stylized animation, and just how cool you made everything look. The color was great. It felt like almost like a Picasso painting come to life at times. I thought it was really cool what you did with that. I think that you did a really nice job of, I think, capturing like a kind of a classic disagreement between a parent and child, and just the fact that it's happening in this futuristic sort of hellscape doesn't really detract from the fact that it's essentially a parent kind of waxing poetic about the past, and a kid who's frustrated over the fact that they don't get to access these memories or live their life the same way. So I think you've done a really nice job with that, and I really enjoyed the piece.
I thought this was a really different type of animation. It was good narration or voiceover acting. Interesting story about pollution, air pollution, ocean pollution, and where we're headed if we don't get on board more with taking care of our environment and recycling. I liked how they had the new coffee machine. I think it said Starbucks, and then a couple of other versions of coffee that she could get. It was this fancy machine, but then the old coffee maker shows up in the ocean, because we're kind of like a throwaway, like we do, I don't know if it's just this generation, but it's like my mom would always say, it's a throwaway generation now. We just throw things away. We don't take vacuums anymore to get fixed. We throw them away and get a new one. It just reminded me of that, and how even if this coffee maker was completely fine to use, we threw it away because we just wanted something new and better, instead of learning how to recycle it or keep using it and be happy with what we have. I thought this was a great story, and it had a great moral and message. And even brings up the importance of water, really, and the pollution of the water itself, and just not always wanting something new and better, but taking care of the older things that we have and reusing them or recycling.
Really powerful animated short film. The style of animation itself was something that I have never seen before, so I really appreciated the creativity that came with that. I also think that having all those colors, kind of everything clash a little, really played into the story of them living in this very post-apocalyptic world almost. And I think it really shed a light on where our world is heading if we continue at this rate. Yeah, I thought it was a very good film. The story was interesting, despite us kind of jumping into the story almost in the middle. I think it was still really easy to follow and left me with a lot to think about.
I like the conflict between the characters and even their environment and the setting. I think it's a really important animation looking into what might happen to our environment and what our world might look like in the future, and it ties in the emotions with the sad realities of environmental impacts in a really cool way, and a really creative visual animation style as well.
The animation was absolutely beautiful, and this might feel like I'm blowing it out of proportion, but my favorite thing about this animation is specifically the type of coffee the mom drinks. Something about the fact that the mom specifically drinks Cafe Bustelo that immediately linked it for me. Like, it reminded me of my own mom, and in that way it sort of connected me a little more to the film, because right then it kind of clicked with me, just everything about the relationship between the mom and the daughter. It just made sense to me once I saw that the mom drank Cafe Bustelo. Which is so fascinating, just how much you learn just from what someone eats or drinks.